Welcome to this tutorial brought to you by River City Graphics. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 different methods for changing a colored image to black and white. Now the first method involves going to Image, then Adjustments, then Hue and Saturation. And if you take a saturation slider and drag it all the way to -100, you can see you get your black and white effect. Now for your project this might not be the best way to do black and white. So that's why I'm showing you the other methods. You just have to pick and choose depending on what your project dictates. So I'm just going to hit cancel. If I would have clicked OK, then it would have applied this. So the next one is actually if you go to Image and then Adjustments, and then you go to Gradient Map. Now this applies the foreground and background color that you have selected down here to the image as a gradient map. So if you were to click this little button right here, then it would select black and white as your foreground and background color, just set to default. And you might want to play around with the different colors. If it's a little bit lighter of a black or a little bit darker of a white, it'll probably give you a different effect on your image. So again, just play around with it depending on what your project needs. So I'm just going to hit cancel. And the next one is if you go to Image and then Adjustments, and then you go to Channel Mixer. This is right here. This one gives you a little bit more that you can actually do with the effect. Gives you some more options. So if you click this monochrome button, this is how you started off. This gives you what you've seen already. But you can also change these settings in here depending on the color channels. So as our image had a lot of blue, if we were to start sliding this towards the black end of the blue slider, then all the areas that were blue will get darker, and if you slide it to the whiter side, then it'll all get whiter. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this just gives you more options than those previous methods. So I'm just going to click cancel on that. And the next technique is if you go to Image and then Mode and then Grayscale. Now the problem with this technique, as this message says, is that it wants to discard your color information. So it's not really holding it anywhere, and it's going to be hard to get it back in the future. So I wouldn't really recommend using this unless you didn't plan on doing anything else to the image after the black and white, because you're not really going to have any of those color options that you had before. I mean, you can undo it, but it just discards the color information. So I'll just show you that. It just pretty much sets it to that. So I would use a different method, but that one is out there if that's something that you wanted to do. Alright, so the last technique is to actually go to Image, Adjustments, and then Black and White. And this again shows you the black and white image, and then this gives you a lot of different options. It gives you reds, yellows, greens, and so forth, and allows you to mess with those as that other technique entailed. So that gives you another option. I would probably prefer this one if you're really trying to get a custom feel, but if you're trying to go for quick, you might just use Hue and Saturation or one of the other methods. So I'm just going to click cancel, and I also wanted to remind you guys that the method that I showed you here, where you go to Image, Adjustments, let's just use Hue and Saturation for an example. If I click OK, then it's applied the hue and saturation, but there's really no way for me to undo this later if I decide that's not what I want. So I can do undo right now, but that would be a problem later. So what you're going to want to do is go to this little slash, the half and half circle down here, which is the adjustments, and if we went to hue and saturation there, and we did our hue and saturation, and I'm just going to double click on layers, then we still have, as you can see, our image here, and then we have our adjustment layer here. And if we no longer want this later, then we can just drag it to the trash, and we have our regular image intact. So that's the nice thing about using this over the image adjustments feature. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.